Season 12 is back, baby. We're live, we're ready to go. And also PlayStation, new weapons, harpoon items, a lot of fun, a lot of excitement to talk about, but I do want to focus on what we're here for, how to grind out that season pass as quickly as possible. We accomplished this one, baby, in 23 hours. Over 5 million gold made with the help of a bunch of people. It was a lot of fun to do, but personally I still love the fact the season pass itself is free and the Plunder pass you have to purchase. But with the season pass you can unlock the free 250 ancient coin. You can see right here, level 8, 18, 28, and so forth. You're gonna get 25 free, so eventually it'll lead up to 250 if you do complete the season pass or get to level 98 itself. If you do purchase the Plunder pass, you will get an additional 750, so it does cost about 1,000. If you complete the whole thing, you'll get your value back. So let's talk about some of the items. If you guys have seen some of them by now, we've kind of just brushed through them to begin with. There's 3 items I always like to pick out in the season pass and just talk about that I might like, or maybe you guys might find interesting yourself. So the famous pirate shirt, pretty cool. I like that. I haven't really checked out the tattoos or scars themselves. Not really particularly interested in, but these cannons, Iron Maiden cannons, are just like the default, but just like a different skin. And hopefully they'll do more of this in the future. I'm excited about that. This hat is pretty cool, the wishbone hat. Now I said we were going to do 3, but I actually like the headless horseman figurehead too. That's actually a W. It looks really nice. It's gonna look really cool on a lot of ships, I do believe. The one thing that's very interesting about the season pass you guys have already seen me wearing is the stone curse. Now there's actually 2 kinds. There's a creeping stone curse, as well as there's going to be the actual level 90 solid stone curse. So there's one at level 20 and 90. Now the difference about these to other seasons are these are unlocked through the paywall. Every other curse we have in the game, if you guys have seen some of my other videos, is actually just unlocked by achievements, accommodations, all that stuff. These are the first ones we've seen locked behind the paywall. I'm curious to see in the future how this will change. If you're able to, I would definitely recommend getting it because it's pretty cool. We'll talk about later why. So what do you guys think about the curses now be unlocked behind a paywall? Little side note, the Pirate Emporium is now on the actual menu tab. You don't need to go to the Emporium itself in game or on the main menu. You can literally be anywhere in the game and buy stuff, just like these little cute owls, which I might have bought, and I might have named these new items. We have throwing knives, which are sick. You know, we can throw stuff, we can stab stuff, or we can even slash it. But the other thing is too, the double pistol. We can either charge it up or just shoot it by itself. It doesn't have steady aim unless you're aiming down sights. It won't shoot center just like a regular pistol. So that's the one thing you gotta know, is a little bit of spray. But for the most part, we have, I believe it's 18 damage. I've seen this on Rare Thief as well as see at Thieves website. It says 18 damage per stab, and then it's gonna be 70 damage per slash. Now that means that the throwing knife itself does 60 damage, but the cool part is you can pick this back up. Now a really cool feature, and one I'm really excited to just keep practicing and mess around with myself, is the harpoon. As you guys can see, you can shoot the harpoon and it can attach to anything it normally would, but now you can balance on it. You can literally walk across, up, down. As long as it's not too steep, you can literally hop on the harpoon and just walk across, or you can stop. As long as you can keep your balance, you could walk on this thing forward, backwards, and even sprint. But if you sprint, it'll push you off a little bit faster, so you got to be careful. You got to make sure your balance is on par. I do think it's really unique and it's really cool. You can literally turn around, you could shoot, you can do a bunch of stuff with it. There's still more to learn for it for myself, but I think the cool part is you know, it's a new feature to the game and it's really exciting. You can pick up items with it, you can get loot. It's really fast and easy to walk back and forth rather than just having to black screen or get back to your boat in another way by cannoning. You can now just walk across the harpoon. It's really nice. It's actually a really nice addition to the game. W rare. The other thing I definitely need to mention is the bone collars. The bone collars are sick. You can literally throw or shoot these out of your cannon. You summon skeletons. Now it's based per crew size, how many you can actually spawn. But these are sick. They'll fight beside you, whether they be on your ship or on an island, wherever you want to throw them. You'll spawn in some skeletons. And it's honestly so sick. It's going to be used in so many different ways. I don't even know myself at the moment. It's still going to be pretty crazy to experiment with, but so far they're great at at attacking people when they're really trying to repair their ship. That's what I've learned the most. But for newer players, they're going to be great to help you along the way. I'm not just sure what the despawn rate is on them at the moment, but I know you can't damage them yourself, so that's a good thing, other than if you have a firebomb. So if you have a firebomb, GG's, skellies. Now, as you guys probably have noticed, the scatter shots, I didn't even really mention them. They're not really useful. That's really all I have to say about them. Now for the main reason you guys are here, the actual how do you do it? How do you get to level 100 in less than a day? How do you level this thing up? I mean, without exploits or anything, like, you're gonna be doing this normally. Of course, you're gonna make sure that you're checking out your crew size. Now, the one thing I learned particularly is the fact that if you are going to be having extra people join you for this adventure, make sure they're active, make sure they're constantly doing stuff, because that is so important. The larger crew size has a downside to it. Everything you will be doing will be scaled to crew size, and it makes events a lot slower because there's going to be more mobs, they're going to have more health, whatever it may be, and everything is solo. So for example, if you're fishing, if you're cooking, if you're eating, all of those things will be done separately for your own renown. So if I'm cooking or if I'm fishing, I'll be getting my own renown for that. It'll be leveling up on its own, rather than if I'm playing with, for example, DB or Sterling, whoever it may be, they won't be getting levels for that stuff. But there will be completions and other stuff for world events that you will be getting together. So that stuff's nice to join a teammate. But let's approach this, for example, as a solo. The way I'll go about it is literally look on my server and see what world event I have. For example, right now we have a fleet, a little ghost fleet. I'll go over and do that immediately. The ghost fleets are pretty good. They're a little bit more difficult as a solo because you have to turn around, shoot constantly, you have to spin, and it's a little bit harder to gather all the loot. But you know, if you were to do a regular fleet, kind of the same thing, but you can judge the spawn a little bit easier because they're not going to be just going in a circle. You could potentially get them to go in a straight line and sink some of the boats a little bit faster, which is nice. But the other main events that I'd be looking for are the Thieves. The Thieves are really nice because they hold a lot of loot in them. And finally, if you can find or do a Fort of the Dam without being really bothered, definitely go do it. But the main things I'll also tell you to go focus on are these fortresses. You can literally dive to them now. You can go to shrines. There's a bunch of other ways to do it. The raids themselves, people were asking me on stream, are the raids worth it? You can literally go anywhere you want. So if you want to raid to a C4, you can. It's a great way to get started. I definitely wouldn't focus doing these the entire time, because if those know, with the raids, you will lose your loot if you dive again. So that means you have to continuously sell, and that means you have to continuously sail around. The strategy I went with the larger crew, whether it be a brig or a galleon, was a little bit different. If I had a brigantine or a galleon, I for sure made sure my crewmates were going to be active and around for at least a short period of time. So anywhere between 6 to 8 hours, you know, casual kind of short time frame. But we went around and got a rowboat, we got supplies, everything, because people needed to separate. You have to treat it like a Pirate Legend speed run at that point. You're going to want to go to fortresses and shrines on rowboats while other people are off doing other stuff. Fort of the Dam is going to be huge for bigger groups. If you're on a bigger group, one person at least, hopefully maybe two to back them up, will be doing Fort of the Dam. A more efficient crew only takes one person to do it, and you want to keep the boat there at all times because you're going to need to respawn, and that's probably where all of your loot will be. But stack it inside the vault. Make sure you're not taking time to waste moving loot around. All of that stuff, it's going to be a lot of help in the future. So with all that being said, the more people you have, the more you do have to pay attention, because if one person starts to slack off, it really just kind of hurts your crew. I'll be honest, everything's now scaled world events wise, so you're going to make sure that if you have more crew members, they're actually doing stuff. The last thing I'll say is, if you are trying to speed run this, take a look at the weeklies wherever we're at the time being. They're not all accomplishable. For example, some of these are very easy, you just have to sell loot. But the other one might be go dig up by another crew, and there might not be other crews around. They might not actually have buried anything, so you're not going to be able to accomplish everything, but it's still something to take note at. Definitely peek at these, take a look, see what they're doing. They're going to change. Obviously we have 12 weeks, each week and month it will change, but the last ones, the season ones, are a little bit more obtainable. To really dial down and focus on. The maiden voyage is always one of the easiest ones to do. It takes only a few minutes. You can just hop in. Literally, the cutscenes are the longest part to get these done. But as you can see, it's just 4 things. Literally, just completing it itself, you'll do it all. You don't even need to read that. Just go complete the maiden voyage. But the last thing is, if you're in a guild, which most of you probably are by now, if you're at least level 80, I believe, you'll have all of the outfits. You can go ahead and do all of these. These are very easy to do too. I did these literally in like 30 seconds. Once the food was done, I was able to shoot out, kill a skelly, do all that stuff. It was really simple. And yeah, hope you guys are not only able to do that. If you're not in a guild, try and look around and ask for one. That stuff's pretty easy, and these give you a great big boost. If you are doing this in one shot, I definitely recommend rotating some of the roles that you do, because not everyone's going to want to go stack for the dam for 12 hours. That's just the reality of it. But the main thing is, if there's other stuff to do, hopefully they'll go check it around, go do some stuff they haven't done in a while. The shrines. There's also the horn. The horn we didn't talk about just yet. Not very worth it, I'll be honest. I haven't really found too many of them myself. Probably under 10 in the 24 hours we did, and they're only worth about 2,000 base value. So if they were worth a little bit more, I would go for them. But yeah, they're cool to mess around with, but nothing really important for the actual season itself at the moment. Once again, thank you guys for watching. I hope this video has helped, especially if you made it this far, man. I hope you guys enjoy the new weapons, the new mechanics of the game. I think it's really exciting, personally, to see some new stuff in the game once again. Welcome in PlayStation 5 players. That alone, all the encounters we've been having have been really nice so far. So hope you guys are as well as experienced in some of that stuff. But go out there, have some fun. Go be a pirate, baby. Go have a good rest of your day. Thank you guys for watching. Take care.